video, the following contents are covered: different electric welding processes and modern welding techniques. Electric welding. Welding, it is a process where two metal pieces are joined together by heating them to the welding temperature. This process can be carried out with or without the application of pressure, and it can be using the filler material, or without the filler material the process can be carried out. During welding, the two metal pieces will be brought to plastic or molten state and they will be fused together. Also, non-metals can be welded. After welding, the welded metal should retain all the original physical and mechanical properties of the metal, such as the melting point, density, thermal conductivity, tensile strength, ductility. This welding, it is a permanent joint. Electrical heating can be used in the welding process. The electric welding can be broadly classified into two types: resistance welding and arc welding, based on the application of pressure. Resistance welding. In resistance welding, a heavy current will be passed through the joint which is required to be welded. The resistance of the joint, it generates enough heat due to the I square R laws to meet the metal, and it causes fusion at the point of contact. The various resistance welding processes are butt welding, flash butt welding, spot welding, projection welding, seam welding. Butt welding. In this welding process, one part of the metal is held in a fixed clamp and the other one is held in a moving clamp. These two parts will be brought together and the pressure is applied along the axial direction by a spring. The heavy current, it is passed from the welding transformer, which will create the necessary heat at the joint due to the high resistance of the contact area. Rods, pipes and wires can be welded by this welding process. Due to the pressure of the spring, the molten metal is forced to come out, producing a bulged joint. Flash butt welding. The ends of the two bars which are to be welded will be put together under light pressure. Arc will be produced at the joint and the flashing will continue till the two ends reach the welding temperature and the pressure will be applied. A weld having a thin film around the joint is obtained, which can be easily removed to produce the flash weld. Spot welding. In spot welding, the welding process is carried out at certain points, producing a local joint. This can be applied to welding of sheets. A spot welding machine is shown in the figure. The plates to be welded will be placed overlapping each other between two electrodes by the foot pedal. The welding current, it flows through the electrode tips, producing a spot weld. The electrode tips, they are made up of copper or copper alloy and they are water cooled. The welding current, it depends upon the thickness and the composition of the plates to be welded. It varies from 1000 to 10,000 amperes and this current will flow from a fraction of a second to several seconds. Projection welding. This is modified form of spot welding. Flat electrodes are used and the work to be welded will be pressed on the contact surface to concentrate the pressure at the points to be welded. Seam welding. If the spots in the spot welding are spaced closely such that they overlap each other, it will give rise to seam welding. Here, wheel or roller type of electrodes are used. The mechanical pressure of the electrodes on the work, it is kept constant. The intermittent current is used and current is kept on for a definite time and then off for another fixed time. This process can produce continuous pressure tight seams at high speeds. Next topic, machines used for resistance welding. The machine for resistance welding consists of a transformer, electrodes for transmitting the current to the portion to be welded, and arrangement for controlling the mechanical pressure may be exerted through levers and clutch by an electric motor, or it can be done by compressed air. The pressure it varies according to the type of work. It may be from few kilograms for thin plates, whereas for ropes or wires it may be in tons. The older type of welding machine employed electrodes operated by a pedal. The application of pressure and time for the flow of current is controlled by the operator, which requires experienced and skilled operators. Modern practice is to pass heavy currents for short time intervals, that is 1 by 100 through 1 by 10th of a second. For this purpose, three types of equipments are used: constant time, current actuated, and energy actuated. Constant time equipment. It is used in high speed production where the work has a clean surface. This equipment may be provided with mechanical control or electrical control, whereas current actuated control has not been successful for high speed welding. The energy actuated control equipment, where a definite amount of energy is fed into the weld, is used when there is variation in the welding conditions for successive welds, like variation in supply voltage or mechanical pressure or wear of electrodes, and where the constant time method does not produce good welds. Electronic control in resistance welding. Electronic controls, they are employed in resistance welding. They are very accurate and precise in operation. Usually ignitrons are used in all precision welders. Some of the electronic controls are line, contactor and heat control. The welding transformer, it is connected to the line when a control signal is given, and heat is achieved by the accurate firing of ignitrons for a certain duration of time in each half cycle. Non-synchronous weld timer. This controls the number of cycles for which the line contactor has to remain closed. Synchronous weld timer. It can count accurately the number of cycles for which the line contactor remains closed. Also, it can control the instant at which the line contactor should be closed to avoid transients in the welding transformer. Sequence timer. This incorporates weld timer and other timers to determine the time during which the pressure builds up before the closing of the contactor. This is known as squeeze time. It also determines the time taken for the cooling of the material before the pressure is withdrawn. This is known as hold time. Also, it can further determine the time for which the electrodes are not conducting before the welding sequence is repeated in the next cycle. This is known as off time. Pulsation timer. This allows the current to flow for a definite number of cycles and stops the current flow for another definite number of cycles. Energy storage welding processes. Aluminium, magnesium and few other materials, they require high currents for short interval of time for welding. But if these are welded by taking power from the supply lines in the usual manner, following drawbacks arises. The abnormally large demand of current causes series voltage fluctuations in the line during the interval the weld is being made. If the welding interval is shortened, it will greatly reduce the energy supplied to the weld and it will not be satisfactory. In the energy storage system, energy is stored from the line and then released suddenly to the welding electrodes. Aluminium, magnesium and their alloys have the following characteristics when it comes to welding them. Since they have low specific resistance, they require heavy current to melt. Their thermal conductivity is high and therefore they conduct away the heat very quickly from the spots to be welded. On melting, they become very thin liquids and have a tendency to run off. At low temperatures, they stick to the electrodes having copper. To overcome the above problems, the welding should be done under high pressure in a very short time interval and use a very high volume of current. Two types of energy storage and discharge systems are capacitor discharge welding and magnetic energy storage welding. Capacitor discharge welding. The capacitor bank used is of 2000 to 3000 microfarad capacity and it is charged to 3000 volts. The no load voltage of the rectifier is 6000 volts. A voltage regulating circuit cuts off the rectifier from the bank when the bank voltage is 3000 volts. Using an ignitron switch, the capacitor bank discharges into the primary of the welding transformer and the high transient current set up in the secondary supplies power to the weld. Magnetic energy storage welding. The energy is stored in the magnetic field of the transformer, the value of the stored energy being half Li square. The DC voltage of the rectifier, it is suitably controlled so that current in the primary of the transformer rises gradually without inducing high current in the secondary. This will avoid preheating of the material. When sufficient energy is stored in the transformer core, the contactor opens and the flux should collapse now. The decay of flux induces heavy current in the transformer secondary for the welding purpose. Another classification of electric welding is arc welding. An electric arc, it is the flow of electric current through gases accompanied by heat and bright glow. The glow is due to ionization and dissipation of energy of the surrounding medium. The electric arc is produced by short circuiting two electrodes and then withdrawing them apart. Electrons emerge from the separated tip of electrodes and move to the other tip of electrode by colliding and ionizing the surrounding medium between the tips. The arc has negative resistance characteristic, that is, with the increase of arc current, voltage across the arc decreases and also resistance of the arc decreases. Increase of arc length also reduces the arc and further increases the resistance of the arc. An arc requires more voltage to strike than to be maintained. To have a proper welding, the ground connection should be far away, otherwise the arc stability may be affected. Various arc welding processes are metal arc welding, carbon arc welding, atomic hydrogen welding, helium or argon arc welding. Metal arc welding. The figure shows the setup for metal arc welding. Current flows via the electrode through the arc to the workpiece and back to the supply via the earth connection. Due to the heat produced by the arc, small portion of the work metal melts and also the tip of the electrode. When the electrode is removed, the metal cools and then solidifies. Carbon arc welding. Carbon electrode is used in this welding process, which is made negative with respect to the workpiece if DC supply is used. If carbon electrode is made positive, then the carbon particles have a tendency to go into the welded joint and cause brittleness. Therefore, the carbon electrodes are made negative and the workpiece is made positive. The heat from the arc, it forms a molten pool of metal and the extra metal required to make the weld is supplied by the filler rod material, which is of the same composition as that of the molten metal. This process is used in welding copper and its alloys. Atomic hydrogen welding. In this process, an arc is created between tungsten electrodes and hydrogen is blown through the arc zone. This gas changes into atomic form on the account of high temperature due to the arc. When the atomic hydrogen travels to cooler regions in the vicinity of the arc, it will regain its molecular form, and while doing so it gives up the energy which it has extracted from the arc. Very large amount of heat is generated which will help in the welding process and weld the workpiece. A filler rod may be used if additional metal is needed to make the joint. Helium or argon arc welding. An arc is formed between the tungsten electrode and the workpiece, and helium or argon gas is used only as shield to protect the workpiece from the oxidizing effect of atmospheric oxygen. This welding process is used to weld magnesium alloys and aluminum alloys. Electric arc welding equipment. The supply may be AC or DC supply, but the basic requirement is that it should have a high open circuit voltage to enable the striking of the arc. This voltage is around 50 to 100 volts, whereas a voltage of 20 to 30 volts is needed to maintain the arc. The arc has a negative resistance characteristic, that is, resistance of the arc decreases as the current increases. This in turn will increase the arc. A steady arc cannot be obtained. The supply voltage must therefore be such that it falls off rapidly with the rise in current. This will check the current from increasing. Electric arc welding equipments, we have two types: DC welding sets and AC welding sets. DC welding sets. This consists of a motor generator set, the motor being a squirrel cage one. The DC generator, it may be of constant voltage type or of dropping characteristic type, in which the series and shunt fields oppose each other. DC set, it can be a single operator or multi-operator set. Single operator sets have sharply drooping voltage current curves so that large change in arc voltage results in small change in arc current. For multi-operator sets, the striking voltage must be available for each operator. Therefore, the generator is of level compounded type having a voltage of 60 volts. Each operator will be equipped with an independent resistance unit which can absorb the difference between the striking voltage and the operating voltage of the arc. AC welding sets. This consists of welding transformers. Here, the difference of voltage, that is, the striking voltage and the operating voltage of the arc, is absorbed by the reactor. The reactor also helps in stabilizing the arc due to low power factor, which is nearly 0.35 lagging. The open circuit voltage is from 85 to 100 volts. AC sets can be single operator or multi-operator sets having single phase and three-phase transformer respectively. Current control is obtained by the regulating reactors. The single operator set causes unbalance and low power factor on the supply, whereas the multi-operator set will cause only partial unbalance. The power factor remains poor unless it is compensated. Modern welding techniques. The conventional welding processes had few drawbacks such as excessive melting, diffusion, formation of intermetallic compounds, tougher ductility, and lower shock resistance capability. Using these methods, it was difficult to weld some metals and their compounds. Therefore, development of modern methods was necessary in the welding technology. Ultrasonic welding. This is one of the modern welding technique. In this method, union between similar or dissimilar metals or non-metals is performed using the ultrasonic vibration generated by piezoelectric effect or magnetostriction. Due to the absence of the problems of conventional welding processes like fusion, recrystallization, grain growth. The ultrasonic welding method is applicable for sophisticated welding requirements such as welding of intricate and delicate parts of electronic boards or components, bonding of plastics, bimetals, foils, and also in welding of animal or human bones in medical science. Next modern welding technique is laser welding. In this method, bombardment of an atom by a proton of adequate energy stimulates it to emit another proton and thus augment the one bombarding it. This will give rise to stimulated emission and amplifies the incident radiation. In a matter of milliseconds, a laser beam is built, amplified till the stored energy is built up to a critical limit. A portion of it bursts through the partially reflecting surface and is focused by a system of optical lenses to a tiny spot on the workpiece. The energy concentrated on this tiny spot becomes very high, which can be used for the welding job. Laser. It is effectively used in the welding of chromium, nickel, aluminium, tungsten, titanium, etc. The salient features of this process are low energy requirement, possibility of both spot and seam welding, facility for micro miniature welding. The disadvantages are high cost, limited average power, low efficiency, and difficulty in controlling the characteristic of the laser beam. However, the laser welding has gained a prominent place in the welding of micro equipments.